What's going on? This is your favorite speaker, Britton Harvest. Hashtag breadcrumbs. Hashtag random acts of kindness, RAK. Hashtag rack motivation. I just got off the phone. We were talking about customer service. See, I like talking to people where I can bounce ideas off of one another. And it's so refreshing when you can talk to someone that's on the same frequency as you, same wavelength as you. And we were on the phone just vibing. Just talking about our different experiences at our jobs and different experiences in our businesses. And we were going back and forth and we got on the subject of customer service. And I said, you know what? That was actually gonna be my next video. Because so many people fail to realize that customer service is key. Your customer service should be impeccable. Your customer service should be bar none. And if your customer service is up there with the greats, that's why people keep coming back. That's why people keep spending their money or parting ways with their money with your establishment. They're parting ways with their money with your establishment because you all understand customer service. You all are so hospitable to where they say, you know what? We know we have a choice as to where we will spend our money, but we choose to spend it with you because you treat me with value. You treat me as if I am the most important customer in the world. And when you understand that, when you get it, customers will keep coming back over and over again. Give you an example. Chick-fil-A. There are 5, 6, 7 other fast food restaurants on that same strip as Chick-fil-A. But I can guarantee you, if you go by each fast food establishment around the same time, Chick-fil-A will have a line wrapped around the corner, and you all know this. You all know this because you all are experiencing it in your own hometown. Chick-fil-A's line will be wrapped around the corner, and their line is not wrapped around the corner because they're getting different chickens than everybody else. Chick-fil-A's corner is wrapped around the building because of the simple fact that they understand customer service. They understand what being hospitable is all about. When you're hospitable, when you treat people with respect and you treat them as if they're valued customers, they will continue to come back and they will continue to wait in line because they understand that they are important to you. A lot of you have businesses and y'all don't have customer service to go along with your business, and you're wondering why your businesses are not succeeding. They're not succeeding because you don't have customer service. You don't understand the concept of it. You don't understand that you got to treat every employee and every customer as if they are the best and the most important thing on the planet. When you do that, they will continue to come back. When you do that, they will wake up every morning ready to come to work with an attitude, and they're happy and they're ecstatic and they're smiling. And you know what? That energy will pass on to the customers, and all of a sudden you are developing an atmosphere. You are developing a culture of happiness, a culture that is inclusive to everyone and everybody that's willing to get on board with your program. All you have to do is change their mindset. All you have to do is let them know that you care. And when you do not let them know that you care, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna have disgruntled employees. You're gonna have disgruntled customers. And customers are gonna come to you with a problem, and you're not gonna be able to solve it because you really don't care. You don't care because you haven't established a culture and an attitude of customer service where we want to be the greatest. When people mention fast food restaurants, or when people mention any kind of business of any stature, your business wants to be up there at the top. If you want your business to be up there at the top because they know, you know what, this is where we should go and spend our money. When you get to that point, you know you are doing something right. And customer service is the key. You have to treat people as if they are the most important thing walking. If they took time out of their busy schedule to pull into your establishment, the least you can do is treat them with importance. If they're deciding to part ways with their hard-earned money, the least you can do is treat them as if you care. Because when you do that, they will continue to come back day after day after day. It's proven. It's proven. You can discount your menus all you want. You can discount your merchandise all you want. If you don't have great customer service, you're just missing out. You're losing money off the merchandise that you're not selling because it's not of quality, and you're missing out on the fact that you're not offering customer service, so people don't feel as if they should pay for you anyway. See, when you have great customer service, doesn't matter what price you charge, people are gonna pay it because you have something of value, like I spoke of in my last video, #breadcrumbs. When you have something of value, people will pay more for it. When you're offering customer service and the other people down the street are not offering customer service, where do you think they're gonna go to spend their money? Where do you think they're gonna go to say, you know what? I have 30 minutes for break before I have to be back to my office or be back at the job. Where do you think they're gonna go to spend their money? They're gonna go where they're gonna get great customer service. They're gonna go where people know who they are. When you go into an establishment, it's just like that Cheers sitcom that came on a long time ago. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. When people know your name, that is a great feeling. Now you feel like you've done something. Now you feel like your name is on a marquee in bright lights. And there's nothing more great of a feeling than when you walk into an establishment and people are saying, "Hey, Brenton, what's going on? Welcome back. What can I get for you today?" Or would you like the same thing that you got yesterday, or number 2? I mean, that means everything. And if you're a business and you don't have customer service implemented into your training, that's where you're missing the boat. That's why my videos are so important, because I go into places and implement training. I do this on a daily basis. And I get love and I get enjoyment out of it because I like to see people grow. I like empowering people to be the best version of themselves that they can be. I do it for free already, so if I do it for free, you know I'll do it when I get paid to do it, because that's just who I am. That's deep down inside, that's exactly who I am. You're gonna be that way at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're gonna be that way at 12 o'clock in the morning, because that's just you. And when you are who you are, you will never change for anybody. You will never compromise who you are, because that's exactly who you are, and that's who you know that you need to be in order for you to be happy. You go into a bank and the tellers automatically know you by your name as soon as you come up to the window. That's a beautiful feeling. That's a beautiful feeling, because you remember the time when you used to go to the bank and they didn't know who you are. All they said was, "Can I help you?" or "May I help you?" or "Next person in line." You're just another number. You were anonymous. You go from being anonymous to all of a sudden they're calling you by your name. You've graduated. You've graduated. Now all of a sudden they're offering customer service. Now you're saying to yourself, you know what? I want to come back to this exact same bank every time I need to withdraw money, or every time I need to make a deposit, or every time I need to make any kind of transaction dealing with funds. I'm coming back to this bank and I want this teller, because they're treating you with respect. They have great customer service. And when you have great customer service, nothing can substitute for that. Nothing. Speaking of withdrawing and depositing, you all have so many people around you that are withdrawing from you that it's not even funny. That's why your life is depleted. That's why you're so fatigued. That's why you're tired. You have so many people pulling on you and so many people withdrawing from you, and they're not replenishing anything that they're getting from you. They're just withdrawing from you because you're so accessible. Anytime they need something, you're answering the phone. Anytime they need a favor, you're always there. Anytime they need money, you're always there to lend it to them. And they're just pulling, withdrawing. Then all of a sudden, your account is in the negative. Your account in the negative. Now all of a sudden, when you need to go to your own account and withdraw from your own account, you can't do it. You can't do it because you're surrounding yourself around people, and all they're doing is zapping your energy. All they're doing is withdrawing from you everything that you should be giving into others. Now you're left empty, and you're frustrated. And you're saying to yourself, how did I get in this predicament? You've gotten in that predicament because you've trained them to always depend on you. You've trained them that whenever they need something, they could call you, and no matter what you have to do, you're going to come through for them, even if it leaves you empty, even if it leaves your account in the negative. You're going to always be there for them. But circle around. Let's circle a wagon. When it's time for you and what you need, and when you are asking for favors, where are those people? You have to hold everyone accountable that's in your life. Everyone. Everyone is held accountable. Nobody is exempt. And when those people are nowhere to be found when you need them, point taken. Because you should not be around anybody that's not going to pour into you like you're pouring into them. And that's the reason why you're so frustrated and you're so bent out of shape, and every other problem that comes along, you're making it more monumental and more big and more to the point where you're blowing it out of proportion, because you do not surround yourself with people that are going to replenish you like you replenish them. And if you keep allowing people to withdraw funds from you, and I'm not just talking about currency, I'm talking about energy now, ladies and gentlemen. When you keep allowing people to zap your energy from you and they're not replenishing it, or they're not coming to the doorstep with something, they're always leaving a cookout with a to-go plate, but they ain't bring nothing to actually go on the grill for the cookout. Point taken. Everyone should be held accountable. Everyone. You keep giving people passes, and the more passes that you're giving them, guess what you're doing? You're creating a monster. And that monster keeps growing and growing and growing. Now all of a sudden, you're left and you don't have anybody to call on. And if you need someone to answer the phone, they're sending you the voicemail, they're blocking you, or they're just letting it ring because they don't even want you to know that they sent you the voicemail, because they don't love you like you love them. All they care about is themselves. And you've been hanging around people all this time that have been zapping your energy and withdrawing all of the funds from you, to now all of a sudden when you need someone, nobody's around. You look around and you by yourself. You're like, wait a minute. What happened to everybody that was around me when we was around drinking? What happened? When I had a cookout and everyone was at the house eating, drinking good, now everybody's gone and I'm left to clean up all this mess? What happened? You've trained them to treat you like that. Now they're treating you like a doorstep. They're just walking all over you. And you allowed it. Once you've allowed it, now all of a sudden you got to retrain them. But in order to retrain them, you got to fortify yourself. You have to fortify yourself, and you have to go into seclusion. And you have to say to yourself, you know what? I need to build myself back up. I need to replenish the funds that they've withdrawn out of my own account. And once you do that, or as you're doing that, you're starting to understand where you went wrong. You're starting to understand the mistakes that you've been making over the years, and you're all of a sudden you're saying to yourself, now that you have the bearings about yourself, you're like, you know what? I'm not ever doing that again. I'm not ever doing that again, because I know that feeling. I don't ever want to feel like that again. I don't ever get to the point where I feel like I'm so lonely that nobody else I can call on. When people need me, my phone's ringing off the hook. When people need me, I'm getting text messages left and right. But all of a sudden, when you need somebody, they're not there. And that's a lonely feeling. It's a lonely feeling when your birthday come around and nobody offers to take you out on your birthday. They barely send you a text message. But all year long, you're there for them. That's a lonely feeling. And then all of a sudden, when you start realizing that you created this, so you have nobody to blame but yourself. You can't sit up there and be mad. You can't sit up there and be angry. You can't sit up there and try to point blame, because you're the reason. You created it, and every problem you created, you can solve. All you have to do is do the exact opposite of what caused that problem. Once you do the exact opposite of what caused that problem, there's your solution right there. There's your solution. But if you go into a same problem and you have the same mentality that caused that problem, all you're going to do is make that problem even worse. Just do the exact opposite. And I guarantee you, you will get the results that you're looking for. It's simple. We like to try to complicate things and make things so extravagant. Keep it simple, simplified. 1 or 2 variables in that equation. 3 at the most. But if you got 1 or 2 variables in the equation, you'll be able to solve it every time. But a lot of you have all these different variables in the equation, and you're trying to solve it. You don't know whether or not you should solve everything in the parentheses first or what's outside of the parentheses. And all of a sudden you're trying to figure out, well, why I came up with a different answer than they did. Because they started solving everything that was in the parentheses first and you didn't. All you gotta do is simplify it. Simplify your life. When you simplify your life, everything starts to make sense. And now all of a sudden, you're going in the direction that you need to go in. But without simplifying it, you're gonna be all over the place. And you're gonna have people pulling on you from all different angles. Especially when they know that you have it. It's nothing worse than somebody knowing your pay schedule better than you. And a lot of you out there already know what I'm talking about. You have people in your circle that know your pay schedule better than you. How you know my pay schedule better than me? Like, I don't even know I'm about to get paid, but you know my pay schedule better than me? That's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem because now you're gonna get a call before your money even hits. Before you even get that check, they calling you. That's crazy. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And when you sit back and you think about it, you like, man, how do we get to this point? How do we get to this point to where you know when I get paid better than me? And you get to thinking, you like, you know what? Every time I'm buying something for myself, I share it with them. And every time I'm going out of town, I let them know. And every time I'm excited and I want to just say, you know what, I want to celebrate, and you invite everybody out and you invite them out to dinner or you invite them out to drinks, and everybody's like, okay, great, we're around him, he's having so much fun, he's excited, we're excited, energy is great. In the back of their mind, you know what they're doing? Taking notes. Saying to themselves, okay, around this time we did this. Around this time we did this. And around this time we did this. Now all of a sudden you're getting phone calls around each of those times. And it's so ironic that you're getting phone calls around each of those times because you're saying to yourself, it's kind of funny how all of a sudden your problems come around the same time every month. You start thinking to yourself. And when you start thinking to yourself, you're like, well, wait a minute. What about me? What about what I have going on? What about the things that I'm trying to accomplish? I got to put all of that on the back burner because you all have become so dependent on me to where now I can't do what I need to do. And if I don't do it, I'm the one that has switched up, or I'm the one that's selfish, or I'm the one that's not being a great family member or a great friend or a great brother or a great uncle because I can't do what I need to do because of something that you want me to do for you. You have to reevaluate yourselves. You have to reevaluate your circle. Everyone that you run around with, everyone that you hang around, nobody is exempt. Everyone needs to be held accountable. Because when you hold everyone accountable, now you're starting to see where you went wrong, where you took that wrong turn. And you got to recalibrate yourself and get yourself back on track. So you have to fortify yourself so that once you fortify yourself, now only a small group of people can get in. And you have to be that way. It's not selfish. It's actually called self-preservation. You have to protect yourself and your energy at all costs. Because when you don't protect yourself and your energy at all costs, that's how you are being left depleted. Self-preservation. And when you do that, now you're able to do the things that you need to do in order to reach those dreams, in order to take advantage and go and surpass those goals. You can't do that when you're so busy doing for other people to the point where you can't even focus on what it is that you need to focus on because everybody else is pulling you in a million different directions. We all have goals. We should. But if you don't, and I do, I shouldn't be looked at as not being a good friend or a good family member because I have goals and you don't. Think about it. And when you think about it, ask yourself, when was the last time you poured into that person? Ask yourself, when was the last time you called to check on them and make sure they were okay? Because if you only call when there's a problem, or if you only call when there's a crisis, that's an even bigger problem and even a bigger issue. Retrain people so that you can teach them how to treat you. When you're in a relationship, you got to train people on how to treat you. If you don't train people on how to treat you, they will treat you any kind of way. And every time you keep letting them get away with it, that water just gets more and more murky. Because you haven't drawn a line. You have to set boundaries. You have to say to yourself, listen, this is what I'm going to accept. And anything outside of this, I'm not accepting and I'm not even tolerating or entertaining. You have to set those boundaries. And once you set those boundaries, now the people that want to be in your life, they will actually be in your life because you've set those boundaries. If you got people in your life and they're not adding value and all they're doing is taking away from you, but yet you keep adding value to their lives, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. And that's not going to be anything that's going to be long-standing. But if you have people that actually pour into you like you pour into them, now that's who you should rock with. You should rock with them every chance you get. People that have great energy. People that want the best out of you. People that want to see you succeed and see you go to other levels in life. Those are the people you should rock with. Those are the people you should keep close. But the ones that are steady pulling on you, as they say, crabs in a barrel, distance yourself from them. Distance yourself from them real fast. Because if you don't distance yourself from them, you will find yourself so frustrated to the point where you just feel like giving up. You start second guessing everything that you need to do because now you've lost your self-esteem, your confidence is gone, you don't believe in yourself anymore, and all you're doing is believing in their belief in you, and their belief in you is null and void. Their belief in you is so minute, they don't care if you make it or not. They want you to be down there with them. And as long as you're down there with them, they're happy. As long as you don't have any dreams, they're happy. As long as you don't have anything you're striving for, they're happy. But the whole time you know you're out of place. You know, you saying to yourself, man, how did I get here? I know I'm so much better than this. Like, what am I doing? And these are all the thoughts that are going on in your head. But all of a sudden, while these thoughts are going on in your head, they're trying to drown your thoughts with entertainment. Hey, let's go here and do this. Let's go here and do that. Let's drink this. Let's drink that. All of a sudden, you can't even hear your own voice anymore. Now you got to begin to fortify yourself. Once you fortify yourself, now you can get back on track. Now all of a sudden, you can be grounded again and go back to being you. That's what life is all about. Life is all about helping. Life is all about giving. Life is all about being the best version of you that you can be. And you can't do that unless you are in the right environment. You can't do that unless you surround yourself around good energy. Because you get out what you put in. Everyone knows that. The energy that you give off, that's exactly what you're going to get back. So if you're the type of person that feels like, well, I can just get over on people and give off this negative energy and not wish the best for individuals, how do you expect for something positive to happen for you when you're giving off all this negative energy? I'm just trying to figure out where did you get that from to where that makes sense. You wishing the best on everybody else, whether you like them or not. You still wish the best for them. You ain't got to see eye to eye on everything for you to wish the best for somebody. But you're wishing the best for them because you know this may be their time. And if it's their time, let them shine. How are you going to try to dim their light when it's their time? It's their time, and it's really nothing you can do to dim their light or stop their shine. So why are you wishing bad on them? Embrace it. Because once you embrace it, when your time comes, people are going to show you the same love. I can care less about who's rocking right now. I can care less about the greatest speakers that are out there right now. I support them and I watch them and I study them because I know this is their time. This is their time to shine. My time is coming. I'm not worried about it. But I'm still going to watch them and I'm still going to learn from them. Even though I may not like what they're saying, or even though I may not like everything that they talk about, I'm still going to watch them and learn from them because guess what? There is something that I need to know. I can take little tidbits from every little thing that they're saying. And those little tidbits that I can get from them, guess what? That's going to help propel me to the next level. I may not like how they live their lives personally, and I can care less because that's none of my business. But if they're great at what they're doing, I'm going to watch them. If they're great at what they're doing, I'm going to study them. If they come out with a book, I'm going to read it. Because I know that's how I get to the next level. That's how I better myself. I can't better myself unless I take in new information. And if that new information is aligned with where it is I'm trying to go, I'm going to read it. But I'm going to tell you what else I'm going to do. I'm going to use it as motivation. Because you should always want to be better than the other people. People that came before you, you should always want to be better than them. If you're not aspiring to try to be better than them, then you need to find you another field. Find you something else that you're really passionate about, because you're not passionate about it if you ain't trying to be better than them. Why would you want to be exactly like them? Each of you have different gifts. They may be strong in one suit that you may not be strong in, but you may be strong in another suit that they may not be strong in. So guess what? Find out what it is that you have and what it is that you bring to the table, and that's what it is that you focus on. And once you begin to focus on it and harness that, now all of a sudden you're beginning to grow. And all of a sudden you start getting wings about yourself. And now, you know what? I didn't even know I could fly. Till all of a sudden you're flying. You're soaring with the eagles. You were down there with the chickens and the pigeons. Now you're up there with the eagles and you're saying to yourself, well, dang, this is where you should have been the whole time, but you didn't believe in yourself. You didn't believe in yourself because you didn't follow it. You kept letting people pull you down. You kept letting people withdraw from you. You kept letting people you were so accessible to everybody else, you couldn't really focus on what it is you needed to focus on. So of course you ain't gonna fly. How can you fly when you got all of this weighing you down? But now that you freed yourself and you have your wings, and now all of a sudden you're up here soaring, and you're saying to yourself, you know what, I can go and I can do anything that I want to do. There's nothing that I can't do. And you're saying to yourself, well, man, this is a beautiful feeling. This is liberating. I should have been doing this the whole time. Now all of a sudden you're in a groove to the point where nothing can stop you. Nothing. And you just feel so free and so relaxed and so peaceful. You're in a space to where if anybody were to bother you, they got to be on the same wavelength as you. That's the only way they're going to be able to reach you. All that negativity, all of that nonsense, you're hovering way above that. Because now you're in a different stratosphere. And in order for them to reach you, they got to elevate themselves. The days of you lowering yourself in order to entertain them are long gone. You're either going to elevate yourself up here to us where we can converse. If you can't elevate yourself up here with us, I have no talk for you. I have nothing to say to you. There's nothing for us to talk about. Because our conversations are different. When you have two different conversations, that ain't communication. Communicating is only when the person that you're talking to is comprehending what is being said. And when there's no comprehension there, when that person is not comprehending what you are putting out, that is not communicating. A lot of you think just because you're talking to somebody that you're communicating with them, and that's not the case. That's where you get it all wrong. You think you're communicating with your kids and you're not. You think you're communicating with your spouse and you're not. That's not communicating. You have to talk their language in order to communicate. When you start talking their language, now all of a sudden communication is taking place because now they're picking up what you're putting down. But if they're not picking up what you're putting down and you thinking just by yelling, or you thinking just because you're saying it in a vulgar way and you're using profanity that's communicating, you got it all wrong. that all wrong. They have to be able to digest and understand what you're saying. When they understand what you're saying, communication is taking place. But if there is a disconnect between you and another party, you all are not communicating. And that's where a lot of relationships go south. Because one party is thinking that they're communicating and they're not. And the other party is getting frustrated because one party is saying, well, I told you. I've told you over and over again. And the other party was like, still not getting it. You yelling, voice raising, and you're thinking that all of a sudden I'm communicating because I'm raising my voice to the point where I sound like a police officer, and all of a sudden you're thinking you're getting you're getting your point across, and you're not. Because in an argument, two people are not listening anyway. That's why I don't argue. If you're arguing with people or you find yourself arguing with somebody all the time, you're in the wrong situation. Because nobody's listening. When you're in an argument, all the person is doing is listening to talk. They're not listening to actually hear what's going on and what's being said. They're listening to talk. And you all are trying to talk over each other to the point where you all are missing everything that's going on. You're all over the place. Stop it, man. Stop it. If you want to get your point across and you actually want people to hear what you're trying to say, listen to them first. Hear them out. Once you hear them out, then all of a sudden you can begin to talk and you can know what it is that you're saying because it's going to relate to what it is that they're saying. Now all of a sudden, you all are vibing. No difference in customer service. When you're in the customer service field, you have to learn to communicate. Your communication skills have to be impeccable. They have to be impeccable because you have to learn to listen. And there's no way of getting or solving a problem until you listen. That's why I'm at the level that I'm at right now. Because I had to learn that. And I don't have a problem teaching because I teach it all the time. If you're in a situation where you feel as though you can get better at what it is that you're doing, and you want me to reach out to you or you want to reach out to me so that I can teach you these skill sets, I have no problem doing that. I have no problem doing it because I do it already. I do it already because I like to see people excel. I like to see people go beyond what they thought that they can do. Once you see people do that and you see them saying to themselves, you know what? I never looked at that way. You know what? I never tried it just like that. Let me try it like that and see what kind of results I get. When then they try it like that and they say, you know what? This person knows what they're talking about. I get it all the time. I get people that tell me, man, you're a wise individual. Man, you got a lot of wisdom. You got a lot of wisdom. And I don't take it to heart. I don't let it go to my head. I just, continue to try to pour into people because that's where I get my gratification from. I get gratification out of seeing you live out the best version of you. I was put on this earth to do that. And once you know what you're put on this earth to do, nobody can stop you. I know why I'm here. I know I'm here to make these videos. And if you choose not to watch these videos, then that's you. If you choose to watch these videos over and over again and you're starting to draw from them and it's starting to help you out in everything that you're doing on a daily basis, guess what? Now you're getting it. Now all of a sudden you're growing as a person. And when you're growing as a person, now all of a sudden you're adding value to yourself. Now the things that you used to entertain, you don't entertain anymore. You don't worry about what the pigeons are doing. You're up here with the eagles. And it's a totally different conversation up here. Totally different. Ain't no such thing as small talk up here. Ain't no such thing. And if that's what you want, and if that's what you're aspiring to be, then I highly recommend you watch this video over and over again and you reach out to me. Because I guarantee you this, you will never be the same. You will never be the same afterwards. I'm not the same. I remember where I used to be, and what I used to do, and what I used to entertain, and what I used to tolerate. And I look and I say to myself, man, I've done a 180. I'm sure not that person anymore. And I know that I have so much more in me that I can live out. Because you're alive inside, ladies and gentlemen. You are alive inside. And you have to live life as if you know this. When you live life knowing that you are alive inside, there's nothing nothing anybody can do to stand in your way. I'm gonna end this video right here. And I wanna end this video by telling you all that I love you. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. And there's nothing I wouldn't do for you. But as long as you're doing it for yourself first, I'm here for you. But if you think you're just gonna come make a withdrawal and disappear, it ain't gonna work like that. Shout out to my son Bo again. Hashtag breadcrumbs. Hashtag random acts of kindness, RAK. Hashtag rack motivation. Coco. That's my brother for all of you that don't know. I know you out there studying, man. And I know you said that I'm motivating you. Well, I'm making these videos because I want you to be motivated. I want to see the old Coco come out. I want you to be the best version of you that you can be. Matter of fact, I want you to go back to being number one like you were at Alabama State when you was running things. That's what I'm trying to bring out. When you was running them bleachers. You don't remember when we used to run the stadium? That's the Coco that I want to bring out. When I see that Coco, then I know that you're ready. Because guess what? Your little brother waiting on you. I know that we can do this. I know that we can get to that next level. Set Mo, I'm calling you out as well. We gotta make some moves, man. Nick, we gotta make some moves, man. Byron Brown. I never mentioned you before in the video, man, but I'm gonna go ahead and mention you now. Byron Brown is like the liaison of all liaisons. Whenever I needed anything, and when I say anything, I mean all caps. Anything. Byron was a phone call away. Byron introduced me to so many different things, and he's helped me out in so many different ways and so many forms of fashions to where I just want to say, man, I thank you. I thank you because I know everything that you've done for me was out of love. You've never asked me for a penny. And all I've tried to do in the process was take everything that you've done for me and maximize it. And I don't ever want to get to the point where I feel as though I disappointed you, because you're one of those friends that everyone should have in their corner. Because you're only as good as your corner. Every successful individual has a strong corner. And without a strong corner, you're in trouble. Byron, I salute you, man. I love you. Everybody else, I love you all as well. And if you ever need me, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm an email, phone call away. Y'all know my social media links. On Facebook, I'm Britton Harvest, BRITTON. Instagram, I'm B Harvest. Twitter, I'm B Harvest. I'm not hard to find. But don't come to me and don't call me or don't reach out to me unless you're serious. And if you are, you're gonna take this thing to another level. I love y'all, man. I'm out.